What's up, y'all? This month we have been talking all about perfecting your pitch, which is this idea of feeling really strong, confident, powerful, and poised in front of any audience. So whether you're talking about sitting down with a customer or client, meeting a new networking contact, or anybody in any setting, any part of your life or work. So this week, we transition into a brand new lesson inside the member circle where Mickey Kerwick, our mentor of the month, is going to talk about how to build our executive presence, which is the idea of how our physical body shows up and really helps us communicate strong to our audience. Now, one of the things we talked about last week was that our words account for only about 7% of all communication, which means what the heck else is happening with the other 93%? Oh yeah, you got it. It's in your tone. It's in your body language. It's all this other stuff that's happening outside of the words you use. And yet, we spend so much time trying to craft our words, right? If you're like me, the very first business I ever ran, I sat down and tried to write copy to explain what the heck it was that I did, and then I reread it and rewrote it and everything did 1,000 times. And then when people would ask me what I did, I practiced the words, but rarely did I think about how I would actually say it and what it would actually look like, and if I would be excited or if I would be like, blah, 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 like a robot. Oh yeah, I do these things. So I wanted to talk to you about executive presence, and we're going to talk about body language for just a minute because I want to give you a sneak peek into what's happening inside the member circle because I want you to join us in there. But let me give you a couple little things might be interesting to you. So when it comes to body language, here are some fun facts. When you nod your head, you're insinuating to the other person like, yes, continue. But did you know that if you nod your head 3 times, you are likely to lengthen the answer of the person on the other side? So if you want to just insinuate like, yeah, I got you, nod once, nod 3, that person's going to keep on talking. And if that's what you want, not on, sister. Another one, by lowering your gaze. So let's just pretend I drop my eyes down. It actually puts me into an inferior position in a conversation. So if I am in a position where I am negotiating with a potential customer or client, I want to maintain eye contact and keep my eyes lifted as opposed to looking down, because looking down would tend to give the impression that the other person is now in control. It's kind of like if you imagine when kids get in trouble and they're like, or when you've gotten busted doing something stupid and you're like, shh. That. You follow me? Okay, let's talk about another one. Tilting your head. So when you tilt your head, you are saying that you are interested in what the other person has to say. So let's say a friend of yours is telling you a story about a wild weekend she has and you're like, yeah, we're tipping our ear towards her because we actually want to hear more about this story, right? So the tip of the head means a lot. Okay, let's talk about another one. Looking up or to the side. And I know that this is one that I do frequently. In fact, I just did it. So I often, when I'm grasping for words, will find myself looking up thinking, what is the word I'm actually trying to pull in? And they say that that's exactly what's happening, is oftentimes when we start to turn our attention up, we are in fact looking to pull in new information, like we're pulling it out of the sky. Quite literally. Okay, let's talk about another one. How you angle your body. So have you ever been at, say, a cocktail event or out at a bar and you walk up into a group of people, but you don't feel like you actually got accepted into the group you just walked into? It's like you came up and then no one moved? Been there and probably done it frankly. Here's what you should do. Angle your body by 45 degrees towards that person in order to welcome them in. This is really important because when you attend an event where there's a potential networking type of thing going on, you want other people to feel included and embraced in conversation because that is how we build relationships. And especially as entrepreneurs, you never know when that person next to you is your next new customer. So we want people to feel included and embraced. And so turn 45 degrees to embrace that new person as they come in. Doesn't have to be a full 90 because now you put your back to the person behind you. You follow me? Okay. Here's another one. So, and this is kind of funny. So, you know, in Talladega Nights, when Ricky Bobby is being interviewed on camera and his hands just keep creeping up into the frame and he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And they're just like pushing them back down, right? So it is often a little weird to figure out how to stand. And this is something we talk about at length with Mickey inside the member circle. But sometimes just standing with your arms down by your sides can feel a little bit weird. But a couple of keys are when we want to be in a position of power in a relationship or really to look confident, we would like to separate our feet a little bit, stand with them a little bit wider, and potentially put a hand on the hip. It's a way of really showing up and showing up in a way that's powerful. So if you've ever felt a little bit weird, you might want to adopt that power pose of feet just slightly apart, maybe a hand on the hip, chest open. We're taking up space, and that really says a lot when we're in a room. Do you look confident or do you look like you're cowering back and hiding against the wall? Okay. Let's talk about another one, crossing your arms. So crossing your arms can look like you were turned off to the conversation. When doubled with crossing your legs, it's a no and a no. So yes, you might be crossing your arms because you're cold, and this is something that Mickey and I also talk about. I do this a lot. I'm always freezing, and so I often sit back and I have my arms crossed. But as I just did that, I crossed my legs too. And how other people may interpret that is that you are closed off. It's a non-starter. And so think about this when you're in a room where you are in fact negotiating with a potential customer or client or trying to build a relationship. You want to give the impression that you're open. And if you're sitting back, crossing your arms and crossing your legs, the message that the other person might be receiving is that you are done. Consider it. Sitting also, here's another little tip for you. If you are in a position where you are trying to look pretty dominant in the room, like let's say it's you and there's a room of like 10 people and you're presenting what it is that you do, take up some space. So put some paper on the table and spread it out a little bit. Don't have it all stacked up, one piece in front of you and like this. Because when we take up space, we actually show that we are powerful in that situation. So you might have a notebook out and a pen out and a couple things out in front of you, and that helps you build a bigger brand and a bigger presence in a room. Cool, right? So anyway, there's just a couple tips I found that I wanted to share with you as it relates to body language. And to learn more, I want you to jump in, get in with us in the Hatch Tribe member circle. We are talking all about this because it is really important for you as entrepreneurs and for me to feel really strong and confident when I'm speaking to anyone, whether it's to you guys on this video or whether it's to other entrepreneurs or whether it's in a networking setting, customers, clients. I want you to feel strong. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel like I've got this and I know I've got it. Doesn't that feel amazing? So, Mickey's teaching us how to do it. This week's lesson is all about establishing executive presence. That's all about what's happening with our body at any given moment in time, what's happening with your tone and how you're communicating. And here's what's really cool. Next week, she's going to be doing a Perfecting Your Pitch workshop where you can get coached live by her, but this is happening only inside the member circle. So it's a really cool opportunity to be coached by one of the best in the world at what she does. So join us. What you waiting for, sister? hatchtribe.com/member circle. Join us, jump in. Let's have some fun. All right. In the meantime, go out and have an amazing day. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.